Hi guys and welcome to BombAnime.
It's your girl Bruca.
And Big Boy Summer here. Demon Slayer, Sword Village arc, awful villain.
When you think Hantengu can't get any worse, hatred comes through to knock everyone's confidence. Seriously, everyone was shook. Genya's trembling, talking about how he can't move, yet he managed to take like 50 back steps and hide behind a tree. Nezuko's on her knees. Tanjiro shaking. Genya's hands are sweating, like dripping with sweat. Could that happen?
I've never experienced that, but I don't ever want to be in that kind of situation, to be honest.
Tanjiro's clutching his heart. Wow.
I can't breathe. I can't move. I was like, whoa.
Wow.
And that is true killing intent, everybody. That's how you do killing intent in an anime.
For real! Every time they spoke to him, a wave. Oh, wow. Nezuko is also regenerating instantly. What's that about? And she's also saving Tanjiro at the perfect time. Every time. This whole season. Every time. She's just as aware of the battlefield as Tanjiro was in the last episode.
Well, you already know what I think about Nezuko. I think she's the main character and we're about to see it come into fruition. Also, it goes back to what you said last week. They should be training more together because they're always in sync.
Yeah.
But they are really showing us how good these two are as a couple while fighting on the battlefield. It is actually a pleasure to watch. And I know it's save one, save the other, save one, save the other right now. But let's be honest, can we all take a second and appreciate that these are kids against an upper demon? They're children.
Nah, they don't get the title of kids anymore. That's done. Childhood's gone. Childhood's done. When all of their families died, that's it. Childhood over. Grow up now. Time to grow up. They're strong. They can do more than I can. I can tell you that. Because I probably wouldn't survive a mugging. These guys are battling demon after demon. Give them their props. You can adult better than I can adult.
You know when the Hydra came out, the wooden Hydra came out?
Yeah.
And Tanjiro was doing all them flips and tricks on the Hydra. Yeah, that's not me.
Yeah.
That's not me, bro. I got aches and pains in places I didn't realize existed. And my guy doing double backflips and somersaults and avoiding dragons' mouths. Bruv.
Tanjiro actually was cutting off Hantengu's main body. He hadn't done it, but the sword was cutting through. And he was like, do you know what? I can actually do this. I can actually cut him. This is when the other forms fused together to create this new being, hatred.
Why did you make it sound so polite? The other forms just fused together. No, it was violence.
Yeah, anger sucked all of them in and pleasure was trying to run away, but it was too late for all of that. Oof.
You can't say that sentence in any other context, can you?
Phrasing.
That is, you know what, phrasing, innit?
Phrasing.
So we've seen anger, we've seen joy, we've seen pleasure, we've seen sadness, we've seen fear, and then out of nowhere there's hatred.
This was making me think, shouldn't Hantengu be more likely to be killed? Because Muzan said that all the demons were dying in the order of their humanity. These are all emotions. Doesn't that make him quite close to human?
Maybe, and I kind of do agree with you, but when the littlest guy is almost impossible to chop his head off, you can say what you like about how easy it is to kill him. I don't see that, boss. I don't see that at all.
I think that Hantengu has been the hardest to kill so far that we've seen in this show. Period.
Yes, of course. 100%.
Period.
Tanjiro, Nezuko, Genya, you guys are the real ones.
Well, Genya's currently trembling behind a tree.
Bruv, he did this before. Allow it.
No, he didn't.
Allow it, bruv. That's kind of deep. I'm not gonna lie. He's trembling behind a tree. I'll be up that tree, like, you get what I mean?
I would have left the Swordsmith Village. I would have been gone. Sorry, bro. What? No, okay. So what I was thinking is that while Tanjiro, Genya, and Nezuko have been fighting this whole time, they've had multiple opponents that they've had to contend with at any one time. So I feel like it would have actually been useful if they would use that to their advantage by using well-placed dodges. These demons come through with full force attacks, like every time. They're not playing with you. I don't know, I feel like Tanjiro is fast enough to dodge and allow those attacks to follow through and hit one of the others. I also felt like Tokito should have tried to use the needle that was punctured into his body to break through that water move, because it's made from gyokko as well.
I'm going to be a little bit annoying here. Remember in, I think it was 2 or 3 episodes ago, where Tanjiro deliberately sliced off the foot of pleasure to stop himself from getting electrocuted by anger? It might not be the case that he could do that. Like, their attacks might not actually hurt each other in that sense. So
that's true.
That I don't see happening. However, in terms of gyokko, we don't know, because gyokko is technically weaker than Hantengu, but gyokko is also a little crafty demon. So I want to take us back a little bit to how Genya explained the violent way that they became hatred. All he knew, Tanjiro was handling business and he was just keeping the other Hantengus away, and then anger got angry and literally devoured the other 2. It felt like assault.
Yeah, it did look like it was not something they all agreed upon.
It was non-consensual fusion of bodies.
Stop it! Behave!
It only stands to reason that someone that powerful with that much killing intent will come out as a victim. Also, when Hatred and Tanjiro had their little conversation, and Tanjiro being called the villain, did it rub you up the wrong way the same way it rubbed me up the wrong way? This mother, who's he talking to about villain? But I can't even say that he had no points, because he kind of had a point. What's it got to do with you? What I do to other people is not your beef. Why are you getting involved? Mind your business.
Why is he getting involved if Tanjiro's cutting off the head of someone weak and small? He didn't say that form of Hantengu was related to him. He just said he's weak and small and you have no right. It didn't rub me up the wrong way the way he was speaking, because like a lot of villains, they're pretty delusional and they have a really twisted thought about how things are going. So it's not really shocking. We've seen this before in other villains, and I mean, it just added to him and his character. Yeah, I mean, even though he didn't speak a lot or do much, you can tell that this is going to be a well fleshed out character. I also do not want, please, Demon Slayer, don't do this to me again, because you've done it every single time. I don't want the villain with a tragic backstory that I'm going to try and feel some pity for afterwards. Just give me an all out and out villain, someone that I can hate and be like, yeah, he deserved to go. Not letting me have a little bit of remorse after Tanjiro chops his head off eventually. Please. Roji needs to get her ass into the fight. Like, okay, we get it. You've got a cute sword and you've got big titties, but at the end of the day, put some work in, because you're not with Gyokko. You're not with Hantengu. She's looking after the village. She's doing bits, bro. She killed all of them fish demons by herself. Okay, but Demon Slayer themselves don't even think she's worth a cutaway. For 2 episodes. Tokito got cutaways and he was just drowning quietly. You're so deep, but it's so true. Ruki, it's so cold. Guys, I know you're enjoying this episode, but I know a lot of you aren't actually subscribed. So all you gotta do is just press the subscribe button. It's right there. Don't forget to ding that bell. Haganazuka is the embodiment of focus. He is purely into the sword. He is on it. And all you can hear is the praise and the admiration to the crafter of this sword, saying how beautiful and how well crafted it is while he is trying to restore it. It kind of feels like he's having a religious moment in awe of someone who's better than him in the past. It's like praying to your ancestors. You get that sort of feeling out of his dedication and focus to it. He's so dedicated that man can't even feel pain, bro. I didn't actually get that vibe. The vibe that I got was that he had actually a connection to the creator of the sword. He's not making a sword right now. Right now he is restoring it with a technique that has been passed down in his family. He said that the person who made the sword had one single focus while making the sword. While he's restoring the sword, he has one single focus. So it actually felt like more of a connection, and I feel like this whole season has been about connections. We have the connection here. We've got the connection between Tanjiro and his ancestor, who was the mechanical doll. The connection between the creator of the mechanical doll. The same connection with Kotetsu, who is going to try to make something as good as that mechanical doll. And his family, who have passed down the creation of it. So it just feels like there's a lot of generational things that are going on, a lot of passing the torch, and a lot of connections to the past.
Yeah, you said something off audio about there being a new Hashira being born.
Yeah.
This season.
Yeah.
And I can fully see that, like, because the motifs are there. The symbology is there. There shall be a new Hashira.
You're really loving religion today, huh?
Hey, but you know what? It's actually nice how they've woven all of the culture into it and turned Demon Slayer blacksmithing into a sort of sacred art, even though really and truly it's just a bunch of steel that easily breaks when Hanazuka makes it.
Stop it.
I'm just saying, man can't make a sword but can appreciate one. Alright, fair enough.
Okay, but back to him. He is actually so focused on restoring this sword that he's enraged Gyokko, because Gyokko looked at him and said he felt inferior because he has never been able to have so much focus as an artist himself, as a fellow artist. So he wanted to, instead of just killing him outright, he wanted to make him lose his focus on the sword. But like he said, Hanazuka didn't even feel him when he lashed his back. He just carried on with this sword. This is going to buy him some well-needed time, because this sword needs to get to Tanjiro, and I really do feel that the only way Tanjiro is going to be able to fight against hatred is with this sword.
I have a prediction that Nezuko is going to be the one to kill hatred, not Tanjiro. She's going to use that sword to do it. Okay, so Kotetsu is probably never ever going to make a mech now because he got stabbed.
What a way to start it. Come on, bro.
He got stabbed in the gut, bruv. And he gave his last dying breath to Tokito to let him do the second form and break out of his water prison. So, well done, Kotetsu. You did a great thing. You saved the Hashira.
And also brought back what Tanjiro said about helping people coming back onto you. So let's get to Tokito. He started hallucinating because he was out of air. He tried everything and he had no more air, so he started to hallucinate Tanjiro. And Tanjiro was saying things to him and he was like, I remember someone saying this to me, but it wasn't Tanjiro. But obviously because he has some memory issues, he wasn't able to see who it was that had been speaking to him. While he's losing consciousness and getting the air from Kotetsu, he realizes that his dad was the one talking to him, and that his dad has the exact same eyes as Tanjiro has.
I mean, it goes further than that, doesn't it? They got the same face. They got the same face.
As soon as I saw him, I was like, why does this dude look like Tanjiro as well? Like, how virile are these? I'm just saying.
God, what? He's slanging around.
That this family seems like they have a lot of kids.
I mean, they've got demon slayers, they've got demons. I don't know. If,
we're speculating.
I don't know if Kokushibo is a demon, is part of Tanjiro's family, but kind of looks like it a little bit. But yeah, they've got demons, they've got demon slayers, they've got swordsmiths, they've got everything, bruv.
But this actually got me thinking, is this why Tokito wanted to listen to what Tanjiro said when he so easily dismissed everybody else's opinions? Before this moment, it was very odd that he had actually taken to heart what Tanjiro had said, and he was battling with his thoughts about it when he was going through the village, and he decided ultimately to listen to Tanjiro's opinions on the matter. And I'm wondering if it was because although he had no memory, he still had something in him that made him feel connected to Tanjiro based off of how Tanjiro's eyes resembled his own father's.
Yeah, Tokito had daddy issues, and obviously not just daddy issues, he's got whole memory issues. However, listening to Tanjiro, his spirit knew. But I do want to say this though, when Tokito was talking to the hallucination, saying I wasn't strong enough, I'm the one who's supposed to be saving people, no one needs to be coming for me. Even in his dying breath, he was like, you need to send 2 Hashira here. That's how sick I am. Like, do you know what I mean? However, something in him must have really loved his family or something like that. Because if you had a hatred for them kind of people, you wouldn't feel the warmth that was there. And I did find it quite interesting how him being left in the water prison, that he cannot interact with the outside world, was probably synonymous to his actual inner thoughts, him trying to get his memories back. It was very symbolic. Yeah, you know what? Demon Slayer's got a hell of a budget and they can tell a story with some good drawings, mate.
I completely agree. Even when his vision was blurring, it's the same as how he was seeing his memories in general.
Yeah.
It had that fuzzy haze around it. So yeah, I completely agree with you that, oh God, Demon Slayer is stunning. Seriously, the way that they tell a story, the visuals, it's really one of my favorite animes.
So I was going back and forth in my mind. I'm just going to wing it now and give you the rating that I feel in my heart. This episode was a 9. I can't fully explain why, and it felt shorter than the other ones, but I felt that philosophically, as well as visually and storytelling, was brilliant. It's a 9 for me.
It's also a 9 for me, whereas the last episode was a 9 for me based off of like the action, and I've already said why it got the 9. Watch the video. This one gets it based off of, again, storytelling and all the connections that were made. It's bringing things from earlier episodes into this episode that created an overwhelming feel to this episode.
Yeah.
Really, really enjoyed it. It's a 9.
First of all, thank you so much for watching our episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, it's BombAnime Insta. Peace.